XHARP shot says the announcer said two
Oh,
elite
bro.
middleweights. No.
Last fight, he said like 4 different weight classes, bro, in the same fight. Every round, he said a different. What's up, fight fans? Thanks for tuning in. I'm really glad you're here with me today, especially if you're someone who's been living, breathing boxing, not just in the ring or on the streets, but in the digital spaces where our favorite content, our favorite sports tries to find its soul again. Today, I want to talk to you about Undisputed. Yeah, the game Undisputed. Developed by Steel City Interactive, was supposed to be a one of one, honestly. Back in ESBC days, we all thought so. The boxing game we'd been waiting for. A breath of fresh air. A spiritual successor to Fight Night, but more technical, more grounded, more real. And you know what? In the beginning, it really felt like we were witnessing something special. But over time, the cracks began to show, and the excitement slowly turned into confusion, then frustration. And for some, complete burnout. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different, guys. It's personal, it's honest, it's a space for you and I to sit in the corner and cool off, just talk. Boxer to boxer, gamer to gamer, human to human, whichever way you want to see it, this is the place to be right now if you have concerns about the game called Undisputed. So, if you got your headphones in, maybe you're on a walk, maybe you're in the grocery store, maybe you're just chilling, relaxing on the couch with your girl, take a deep breath with me. Let's get into it, guys. Part 1, the hope that was there. When I first heard about Undisputed, I got chills. No exaggeration. Boxing's always had a strange relationship with video games, guys. Unlike other sports like football and basketball, where yearly releases are practically guaranteed, boxing fans have had to wait years, decades. So when Steel City Interactive announced Undisputed, the buzz was real, the hype was real. I remember watching the first gameplay trailers, noticing the way the fighters moved, the footwork system, the subtle feints, the details that were in there. It felt different. It felt intentional, like someone cared about the sport, but someone also cared about boxing video games and boxing fun and video game fun. It wasn't just another brawler with a boxing skin. It was trying to simulate the sport, the sweet science, the art. And for a while, that hope felt justified. I remember booting up the early access version with real anticipation. The beta, guys, you remember that? The presentation, gorgeous. Fighter likeness, honestly, super impressive. The roster, they had legends. They had Ali, they had Tyson Fury, they had Canelo, even some of the lesser known warriors that only real fans of the boxing game would recognize. It was like someone was finally listening, guys. But then, the early signs started to creep in. Part 2, a shaky foundation. Let me say this with as much care, sensitivity, and grace as I can. I don't have a relationship with Steel City. I don't have a relationship with any of the devs. I do have a relationship with Jay Shep. He's a good friend of mine. I consider him to be a solid brother, and I would never doubt, any of his intentions or anything he says about the game. But I have been a part of this process since the game was first fathomed as ESBC. You can go back on my channel and look and see that I was making content about these videos almost over 3 years ago at this point. I just checked the other day, and one of my oldest videos is about ESBC announcing itself and revealing Canelo being the cover athlete and having Bud Crawford on the roster. I was one of the first ones to make a video about this game. Whether my channel was big enough or, whether the platform allowed it to be seen, the proof is in the pudding. So I'm heavily invested in this game. After 1,200 hours, probably now 1,500 hours on Steam on this game, after hours and hours, 9-hour live streams where I'm just playing this game, I can honestly say I wanted to love this game, and in ways I still do, because it's all we have. But we can't sugarcoat what happened. From the start, the infrastructure just was not built to handle what it's trying to be. A game this ambitious, this focused on the technical side of the sport, boxer-to-boxer interaction, it needed a stable, robust online environment. What we got instead was peer-to-peer matchmaking. And if you played even 5 matches online, you know what I mean. Desyncs, ghost punches, inputs not registering, timing being miles off. One moment you think you're slipping a jab, the next your character teleports into a hook that you never saw on your screen. And the worst part, these weren't even just rare bugs. They were, and still are, just common. For a game where timing, angles, and precision are everything, these issues absolutely gut the experience. They make it feel unpredictable in the wrong way. And yes, it's a smaller studio, I get that. I've always had empathy for indie developers, and specifically this one. I've tweeted them, I've been active in the community like since day one. I've been on their channel fighting King Diaz live when the game was in the beta stages. We fought live on the Undisputed YouTube channel with Boxing Fanatico commentating. I'm in the game, bro. But at some point, it's been over a year, man. And many of the foundational problems that we've had from day one are still with us, bro. Let me give you a quick example. Just today, as I sat down with the latest update, my heart as open as possible to whatever I may and may not encounter on this update. I noticed they added a few new fighters, free ones too. And that should be a good thing, but I couldn't help but feel frustrated. Because while they gave us a shiny new layer of paint, the engine underneath is still coughing, sputtering. Desyncs are still rampant. Ghost punchers are still throwing fights into chaos. I can't comfortably play more than 30 or 45 minutes without running into something that reminds me, hey, this still isn't fixed. This still isn't fixed. And that's the hard part, not knowing if it ever will be. Part 3, why this matters. Now, some might say, it's just a game, bro. But to me, maybe to you too, it's more than that. Boxing games are rare, bro. They aren't just about fun or fantasy. They're about representation of a sport, a culture, history. They give fighters and fans alike a way of experiencing boxing in a new dimension. So when a game like Undisputed comes along, it really does matter. It holds the dreams of fans who've waited years and years to see the sport treated with the respect it deserves. That's why the letdown hurts so bad. Because Undisputed came so close to greatness, bro. It showed flashes, moments where everything clicked and it felt like the real deal. And yet, it hasn't managed to pull it all together. It's a boxer with raw talent, but no corner team. A fighter with heart, but no defense. A game with soul, but no stable legs. Part 4, the case for competition. Now, here's where I'm going to pivot just a little bit, guys. As much as I want Undisputed to succeed, and we'll come back to that in just a little bit, I also think it's time for another player to enter the ring. Because the truth is, one studio alone shouldn't have to carry the entire genre. That's kind of ridiculous. We need competition. We need choice. Whether it's a new developer, a major publisher, or even a small team with a focused vision, there is space in this market. Love seat. There's hunger, there's history, and there's money. If we're being honest, think about it. What EA could do if they revisited Fight Night with lessons of the past decade, or what a team like 2K could build with their experience. Even a new indie team using modern tools like the Unreal Engine 5 and a dedicated server structure could build something beautiful with enough time and transparency, because simulation combat sports aren't just popular, they're undeserved. UFC has its own set of problems. Boxing is wide open. And gamers, we're just waiting for someone to care enough to get it right. Whoever does, they'll have our support, I promise. Our money, for sure. Our passion, definitely. But this is important. They'll also have expectations, because we've been through this once already. Part 5, a look into the future. So, y'all, after all that, you might expect me to throw in the towel and just quit on Undisputed. And in some ways, I've laid low with Undisputed, and my stream was very dependent on Undisputed. And in a way, I've been trying to find something else that I want to spend hours and hours playing by myself or mostly with my stream. And that's the struggle I found. Is I base my live stream on playing my viewers in Undisputed. And now Undisputed is not a game where I can constantly sit there day after day playing for hours, because the mystique is gone. Everybody has it now. But what I can say is, I'm not ready to give up yet. Not yet, because here's one thing. Steel City Interactive still has something. They've got a foundation. It's shaky, yes, but it's there. They've got access to fighter license, a beautiful art style, mechanics that, when they work, feel sublime. And most importantly, they've got the attention of the community. Now, attention is a tricky thing. If it's misused, it's turned into anger, resentment, dismay, chaos, anarchy. But if harnessed properly, it becomes momentum, energy, support. Things begin to shift. I truly believe that if SCI can humble themselves, not saying they're not humble, but there's different levels to humility, open the doors to actual feedback, and invest in the infrastructure, this game could still find its footing. Maybe not in this version, maybe it takes a sequel or a major engine overhaul, but the potential is there. The vision is there, guys, it's still there. And if they can't do it alone, bring in help. Bring in netcode experts. Bring in community testers. Bring in transparency. Because here's the honest truth. We don't need perfection. We need progress. We need to see that they care as much as we do. Part 6, a closing thought from the heart. If you've made it this far into this, like, thank you, bro. Like, I can't say I've done this particular content for Undisputed before. I'm usually sitting up there just speaking raw. I actually took the time to jot down notes and stuff for this one. And I know today's topic was a little heavy, a little more raw in a different way. But I wanted to create a space where I could just be honest without being cruel or overcritical, or critical without being hopeless. Because Undisputed isn't just a game. It's a symbol of what could be possible when developers try to bring boxing back to life. And even with all its flaws, I'm not ready to let go. Not yet. Maybe I'm stubborn. Maybe I'm too forgiving. Maybe I just believe that sometimes the first round doesn't go your way. But you don't have to quit. You don't have to give up. You don't have to insult. You just adjust. You just come back. You just fight smarter. And maybe, just maybe, that's what Steel City Interactive has to do. Because when the bell rings again, I'll still be there. Gloves laced, ready to see what happens next. Until next time, y'all, stay grounded. Stay sharp on Undisputed. You never know when this thing might turn around or if it might turn around. Stay hopeful. And as always, keep your heads up. Respect. If you like this kind of content, y'all, and if you want to hear more of my narratives about this game and what I think could improve it for the future, whether it's this game or Undisputed 2, hit that like button, hit the comment button, share this with a friend. Jeezer, lady pleaser. What up, my boy? Hey, we on. Being slick with it.
Jay Jesus says waiting to get off work.
You waiting to get off work? Get in the right place. Hustle ATL. What up, Shad? What up? Hey, Jay, I need one of your shares, bro. You hit that share button and we going viral. Got 20 minutes? Yes, sir. You almost off, man. Y'all, Jay Jeezer is a great UFC content creator, bro. Y'all should definitely hit the follow on Jay Jeezer. You see Jay Jeezer in the chat, hit that follow button for me. 50 people in the stream, man. Y'all come through, bro. Join the community. Angel, what up? Oh, shit, I almost stepped into some bullshit. Jay Jeezer with the share. Appreciate you, bro. 55 people in the stream. If you have not hit the follow button, hit the like. Hit the press 1 in the chat. I'm tipsy, man. Daniel